So listen, I want you guys to kind of tune into this conversation. All right. So if you're just seeing this, what I just said was we are here on live. I got a couple of my friends here, a couple of my investment team members, and we were just having a great conversation about digital assets. We were talking about NFTs, and we were talking about some of the growth we've had with some of the things that we purchased over the last couple of weeks. And I know some of you guys have been following me on my journey. My name is Tammy Washington DeCencion, for anybody who's watching this for the first time. And I just started investing in NFTs. So has my investment team, guys. We've been seeing absolutely amazing growth. Oh my God, it's just, the space is just so, so cool. And we were just having this fabulous conversation, and I wanted to include, my Facebook friends and family in on it, just so you understand what we're up to, and then what's out there. What's out there, guys? So I've got the amazing Lady Queen, Shamika Willis. You guys are going to hear from her. She's coming from Louisiana. All right. I've got another amazing woman, Miss Tina Renfro. She's up there in Denver, Colorado. Y'all, listen, we got investment teams all over. We also got Miss Chris East from North Carolina. Okay. The newest person to this space, but she is killing it, getting in on these NFTs, and then also starting to create residual income. So guys, ladies, let's kind of get into it. So we were just talking about the different areas, like how NFTs are really just taking over every industry in every area. So what are some of the areas that you guys have started seeing NFTs popping up in?
The first place I saw NFTs popping up in is in the sports arena, which is so important to be one of those front runners, because realizing what's going on, that's something that everyone has been missing too, not being able to go to basketball games and football games and baseball games. But that is the first place actually I saw NFTs, was actually in the sports arena.
Yeah, I think it's because people are used to, getting baseball cards. They're used to trading these types of things before. And now that it's all going digital, it made sense that the first area that they would go to would be sports. So I know I have NBA, I have WNBA. What do you have, Shamika?
I also actually have WNBA, which of course is my heart, because basketball. I love basketball, and then I also have NBA in sports wise. And I've actually been looking at one of the sites for the baseball ones that are actually trying to go live. So I've been kind of watching those, because they're supposed to drop soon. So I have a few in the sports arena. I definitely have a few. I'm making sure that I'm holding on to my LeBron James and my Stephen Curry, because they should be retiring very soon. And so if they retire,
are you telling me you got LeBron James? Stop lying.
No, my son has that one. I have Stephen Curry.
Wow.
I made sure I made that investment. And the reason why, because I'm like, these brothers getting, I'm going to say old for sports, because they're not old because they're around my age, but old for sports, so that's why I'm holding on to those. I think Tina, I think her husband has a LeBron.
And I also have Steph, and we have, I can't remember the girl that can dunk. We have her. We have like a lot of, I was never a baseball card collector. I don't like to have cards. I never thought that was cool. I wasn't into Pokemons and none of that. But to have like a dunk that belongs to me is super cool. It's like, oh, hold up. You know what? This is a moment in history, and it's my moment. Maybe, 100 other people have it too, but I'm a part of an elite group of people. This moment in history is mine. So it's really, really cool. And we do have some, I was like, oh Lord, I got Draymond Green and Kevin Durant. Oh my goodness. And we're growing our portfolios and getting more moments. We got a couple of rookies, people that you may not know them now, but you will. And then there were some rookies who their rookie year, they came out in a championship. So the card is not only a rookie card, but it's also a championship card. And it's also the first card that was made for their career. So it's looking real fluffy. That's the word I like. Fluffy. It's looking real fluffy.
You are building a nice collection. So let's bring it back a little bit, just so that people understand what we're talking about, and how it all works. So when the NBA decided that they were going to actually get into NFTs, they actually had what's called a drop, guys. When a drop happens, that means this is when they release the NFTs. So the people who are on site waiting for the drop, these are the people who get the first opportunity to purchase, all right? When you purchase, and you're the first one in the drop, you're actually getting the lowest price. Well, guess what? There is a limited amount of each one. No matter what it is, the NFT world, there's a limited amount. And that's what creates scarcity. And what creates scarcity, whatever creates scarcity, creates what's called supply and demand. So as the supply dries up, the demand goes up. So now people are willing to pay more. Here's an example, guys. I just want to show you something. So the Tory Lanez album was the first album to do it. He was the first musical artist to do it. And you guys remember he was all on Instagram. He made $1 million in 1 minute by selling his NFT album, okay? He only made 1 million copies and he decided to sell them for $1 a piece. That's how he made $1 million in 1 minute. Well, guess what? Because there's only 1 million copies, people like me and Shamika and Tina and Chris, I don't know if you got in. Let us know if you got in.
I did. I was able to buy 10 of them.
Let's
and then I bought some the NBA the beginner package. Yes, I bought 2 of those, and then I was able to buy, I think her name's Simone.
Simone Biles. Oh my gosh.
I was able to get that. So
that is amazing. That is amazing. So Chris says she bought 10, right? So when the drop started, remember everything was $1. So after the initial people got theirs, then the prices went up to like $2. I was a little bit late, y'all. I was 4 days late. I got mine for $10. But let's look. I just wanted you guys to see right now what the Tory Lanez album is now going for. Hang on 1 second, guys. Hang on. I gotta log in. Actually, I think hold on.
Well,
give me a second.
While you log in, Tammy, you know what I think is just so amazing? It's a bunch of women on here talking about this space. Like, it seriously makes me smile from ear to ear because I'm like, man, a bunch of women that are talking about this space and able to change generations or change even the future of not only our family, but our children's family and our children's. So it's just a ripple effect. So I just think it's so beautiful and it has me smile from ear to ear. But I'm going to give it back to you now because I see you have it up.
Yes. That's why I'm excited about the space too. And I think because a lot of people who know us, they understand that we are traders, we are investors. And for some people, trading can be very intimidating. Trading is like, what? I got to look at charts and graphs and all of that. But I think the average person can look at, hey, if I purchase something now for a low price, and if in the future it sells out, in the future it's going to be available for a higher price, that's actually a good investment, right?
Yeah.
An income producing asset, something that is going to gain value. That's always a good deal. So now, again, Chris, you got in on the first day of the drop for the Tory Lanez album?
I did. I got it for under $5.
Let's go. She got it for under $5. So this is what I want to show you guys who are just kind of sneak peeking in our conversation. Look what people are selling this album for now. And I know people who actually sold theirs for more than this, So even if she sold all of those 10 for the lowest price right here, guys, you can do math, all right? And this is not income claims. I'm just trying to explain to you guys how this all works and why we're so excited about this space, okay? So those of you guys who are interested in how NFTs work with musical artists, so the reason why it's such a smart decision for musical artists is because not only did Tory get paid when he sold all of those albums, he did not have to go through a whole distribution network, right? He cut the middleman out. He went direct to consumer, okay? And so that's how he was able to make $1 million in 1 minute. But here's the best part of all. Do you guys remember, I explained it this way, I think a couple weeks ago, when we were in high school, right? Like Janet Jackson was real big. Like she was my favorite artist, like my senior year in high school. But if I got done with that album and I sold it to Shamika, all right, I made some money off of it. But Janet didn't make no money. Guess what? With the NFT album, every time we resell that album, guess what? Tori gets paid. So not only does Tori get paid, but also the people who initially invested in it also get, guys, it's this, I'm loving this space, okay? So it's such a smart decision for artists, and that's why we're already starting to see other artists doing this. We have another artist drop coming next week, and in our wealth community, we're already on it. We already got the date on our calendar. We are ready. Why? Because we're going to be in that first series, and you guys are probably like, which one? Who's in there? We ain't telling you. You got to be part of the group. Just messing with you. Okay, but we're really excited about that. That's going to be happening in about 5 days. This morning we had an NFT drop that we all were participating in. Marvel, okay? So how many of you guys love comic books, right? Yeah. I don't like comic books, but I like investing. I like buying low and selling high. So I was in the line for the comic book. They actually had a Hulk drop. Really, guys, let me tell you, this is how in demand this is. I got in, oh, it says my internet connection is unstable. Can you ladies still hear me?
Yes, ma'am. You were a little draggy, but you good now. We can still hear you.
Okay, so the NFT dropped at 11 a.m., right? 11 a.m. I was in line at 11 a.m., okay? And let me tell you, when I clicked on that thing, it was sold out just like that. So I did not get any. Did any of you ladies, were you able to get the whole comic book on NFT?
No, unfortunately, I did not either. I did not. Uh-oh.
But you know, even though we didn't get
well, there's people.
Oh, there she is.
Go ahead. What'd you say, Tina?
I was just gonna say, for me, the coolest thing is, remember back in the day when you collected anything, you had to have space, and like you had storage facilities, you had to pay your storage every month, or else they would have it on, you know, the storage wars. They'd be selling your stuff. I think it's really cool that we have these assets that we don't have to have a storage room or a big place, but we have significant assets that we don't have to, you know, you could be in an apartment, you could be homeless. I mean, you could be living in your car and still be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars and nobody knows it.
Let me tell you, can I just piggyback off of what you're saying? My very best friend in the world, Tasha Ziegler, I hope she's watching this, but she's a Barbie doll collector, or she was a Barbie doll collector. And so when we lived together in college, we had like a room that was dedicated to her Barbie dolls, right? And she had Barbie dolls from the 50s, from the 60s, all that stuff. And then at some point, you know, because life happened, she ended up selling off her Barbie doll collection, you know? And so I think about things like that. The only reason that she ever did that was just because of space. Like, how do you keep carrying around all of these things, even though you love them? But in the NFT space, you can literally have digital collectibles. And here's the great thing, guys, because they're digital, we're now seeing people right now in our wealth community who are taking pictures with their digital items, right? So it's almost like you have it. Hey, Shamika, can you share with everybody what we were talking about earlier today about what's coming when it comes to concerts? Talk about that.
Definitely. I would love
this will blow y'all mind. Y'all need to listen. Anybody who's into technology, anybody who's into investing, anybody who's been wanting to learn about NFTs, share this video with them right now. You don't want to miss what Shamika's about to say. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, definitely. I want you to think about this. You know, everything that's going on in the world, you know, people are missing going to basketball games and concerts and things like that. Well, actually, it's in the works right now that they're putting together this NFT space where you're able to put on goggles. And even though Tammy's in the Dominican Republic, Tyna's in Colorado, I'm in Louisiana, Chris is in, I believe, North Carolina. North Carolina. Yeah, we could actually all be at the concert together, right? We'll put on the goggles, all be at the concert. But what's crazy is we get to purchase NFT clothes. So even though we're in different places in the world, I get to purchase a dress that I like. Tina purchased a dress she likes. Tammy purchased a dress she likes. And then Chris purchased a dress she likes. And you can actually wear the NFT dress to the concert. And it looks like we're all in the same space together, even though we're in separate parts of the world. And so what you mean, even those flowy dresses that you know are real beautiful when they kind of stand out in the air, it still does that in the NFT. So we can be completely spaced out, but yet still get to go to a concert together.
Come on. Do you guys hear this? Like, you can buy an NFT outfit. So with the goggles on, when they look over at me, I'm dressed in Balenciaga.
But wait a minute. Remember, it goes a little bit of a step further. A designer who doesn't have space to have a studio. Let's say you're a design. You can design the most mind-blowing outfits without owning a sewing machine. And people will buy your designs.
Yes.
You don't have to buy no fabric.
You don't have to buy fabric. You don't have to worry about finding people to make the design and make sure it's right and all that. The drawing is the design. So in the digital space, it's gonna look perfect. You can sell it. Now, here's the best thing about this. This is why this thing is gonna change communities. I lived in Los Angeles, right? And in Los Angeles, there's a school called FIDM, the Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising. Students every year, usually young women, paid thousands of dollars to get a degree from FIDM. And a lot of those people, a significant amount of those people, do not get to work in their field because there's just not enough jobs in the fashion industry, or working in the fashion industry is just too hard. They don't make a lot of money at the very beginning, at the bottom, and you're living in LA. So a lot of people give up on their dream because they don't have the ability to actually manifest it. In the NFT world, think about this. Anybody can create. There's no what do you call it? The person at the door. There's no gatekeeper saying, oh no, we can't put your address in our stores. You want to put it in the marketplace, you put it on there and somebody can purchase it. Like, that's what's ever happened. And this is the way that all musical artists are going to be going in the future. I know a good investment, and I also know a good skill set when I recognize it. One of the reasons why I went ahead and did it was because I knew, just based on what it is and how it works and how the artists get paid, more artists are going to be doing this. And we're already seeing that it's happening. Well, guess what? I wanted to make sure that before it even happened, I know what to do when it's dropping. I don't want to be sitting there trying to figure it out when it's Beyonce. I don't want to try to figure it out when it's an artist that you're going to want to actually know how to get in on NFTs. I want to learn the space before it's necessary. And so just like cryptocurrency and some of the other things that we're currently seeing, guys, these spaces are opening up to us. We need to learn about them now before we're forced to learn about it because the banks are forcing us to get it. Okay? So that's my tirade. Okay? That's why I think it's important. Why do you ladies think that it's important for people to start learning about the NFT space?
So for me, if you think about it, everybody wants to be a part of something that's exclusive. Oh, there was only 1 million. Even if I only have one, which I was laughing because I was like, oh, I have 13 by myself. I think Jonathan has 27 of them. But I'm part of the 1 million. I'm part, and let's face it, he did 1 million copies, but some people bought more than one. So there's not 1 million people out there with a copy of it. So I'm part of an exclusive community, and everybody, like, whether they want to admit it or not, everybody wants to have something that other people don't have, or be a part of something like that's kind of like our human nature, like, ooh, look what I got. Mm-hmm. Ooh, look what you don't have.
Yep.
And it makes you feel some kind of way. This is the space where we're going to, where it's going to be dog eat dog. You either know about it and be in the front, or find out about it later and be in the back. You either going to be the buyer or the seller, but you're going to be in this.
Yep.
You're going to be in this because, like, look what happened with the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
They were selling seats to games. And what they did was they went into the stadiums and every seat had a screen. It was the craziest thing. Remember when you went and you saw all these people at home in their home offices with the virtual backgrounds and stuff? They bought a seat to be on the screen in the stadium.
Wow.
Yeah, and then they had somewhere it was like a screen that went around the court and went around the different places, and you were just a square on this large screen with a bunch of other squares, a bunch of other people. But that wasn't free. And if you recall, before that, I don't know what they did in other states, but in Colorado, you can have your picture put on a cardboard cutout and sat in a seat, and you paid for that. So if you think this isn't where the future is going, where people can still be seen, because everybody wants to be seen on the Jumbotron, so now you can still be seen on the Jumbotron. You can still watch the game. You can still have the same experience, but you could be like in your jersey on the top with your, boxers or sweats or pajamas, whatever you want to be wearing on the bottom. Let's face it, it's progressing, it's moving. And like we were talking about before, when we were talking about how money is changing, every time there was a shift, like when no one talked to me about the formation of the internet, nobody talked to me about getting in on MySpace, nobody talked to me about, back when they had Napster, nobody talked to me about that, nobody let me in on it. I finally get to be in the front of something.
Yeah.
I finally get to be in the front of something.
Access.
Somebody's talking to me about the shift. Somebody's talking to me about the change. Somebody's asking me, hey, you want to be a part of this? Before it happens, in the beginning of it happening, instead of I'm at the tail end after the banks and the government and everybody else, all the rich people that got in and got their hands all in it.
Mm-hmm.
That feels awesome. That feels amazing.
Yeah.
And see, just to be like guys, I want y'all to understand, this is kind of like our backroom talk, what we do, to have these type of conversations that we've never been a part of before, but now we get to learn about this. And seriously, let me tell you something, there's one thing that cannot be taken from you, and that's the education. That's the education part. So once you learn about this space and you're realizing where the future's going, and the fact that, I seriously just want to take a step of faith, take a leap of faith, because I realize something is happening and everything's going digital. Think about it. The shopping's online, dating's online, church is online, anything, everything you look at, even meetings are online. Even though
work is online.
Yeah, even Tammy's in the Dominican Republic, I see Tammy 5 times a week. Everything's online. Everything's online. But I'm telling you, like, to be a part of that is amazing. And you seriously have to say, you know what? I'm no longer going to just sit back and just wait, because waiting will get you left behind. If you continue to wait, you are going to get, you won't be able to benefit. Someone else will be benefiting, and you'll be beating yourself up of, if I should have done this. Why be, that kind of scares me sometimes, saying, okay, you know what? I have an opportunity right now to learn something. I don't want to be like, why didn't I do that? I should have did this. I definitely want to keep that open mind to see exactly what's going on, because I'm telling you, even if you go look it up on the internet, there are houses and land being sold, real houses and land being sold as NFTs, and they're using smart contracts. Yeah, they're using smart contracts like cryptocurrencies like Cardano. They're using those things to do this. It's happening. You just might not be in the forefront of, being able to see it. Thank God we're in a community where we get to see it and we talk about these things. So if I didn't hear something, because I had the kids or something, Tammy talks about it on a meeting, or Tina or Chris, and we're like, oh, okay, well, let's be a part of that. And we definitely hold each other not only accountable, but we're actually to help each other continue to push forward, continue to grow. And so that's what I love about this space altogether.
Well, here's the other thing that for me is a game changer. To be a part of a community, because I'm not going to know everything. I'm not going to be in the front of everything, but to be in a community where there's always somebody who knows the tea. And every piece of the tea. I don't just know a little bit of the tea here. Everything that's happening, every move that's being made, because the way that it's moving in the space, because it's so transparent, there is someone in my wealth community who is researching and looking and see what's going on. Nothing is happening without me knowing about it.
Yes.
That is awesome. That is amazing. And you know what? I heard something, and it is literally stuck with me I know people are like, oh, my driving force is my family and things, but now Poor is my driving force. Because we think of poor as not having money. But the acronym says passing over opportunities repeatedly. I don't want to be poor.
Right.
If I can make money doing it, I want to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a guy who has 27 streams of income, and he said it's not enough.
Wow.
But here's the crazy thing: he was talking his 27 streams of income, but he doesn't work any of them.
That's power. Come on, wow. Man. That's power.
I mean, let's just say that's like you the Mississippi River. Every stream and lake and pond empties into the Mississippi River. But what does the Mississippi River do? It just flows.
That's a word.
It just flows. It don't work. It doesn't pull the water. It just sits there and flows and gets empty. I'm just saying, I want a bank account like that. My bank account just sits there and grows.
Hey, let me ask y'all a question. Let me ask you a question. Just because I saw a comment in the chat, are y'all holding or selling as soon as you buy?
I'm holding. I'm
definitely holding, because think about it like this, okay? So, and this is how, let me just give y'all a little insight into how my mind works. If somebody is willing to pay $50,000 for it now, when it's unknown, what they gonna be willing to pay for when everybody knows about it?
Sure.
Right.
And the demand goes up. Like if you willing to, if somebody got $50,000 for it, I can get $500,000.
Right.
That's how my mind works.
Right.
Now, another question they ask is, are you invested not only, like, can you use your cryptocurrency to purchase these NFTs, and or would you rather use cash to purchase these NFTs? Like, which one is better? Like, to use cryptocurrency to purchase them or cash? So can I just give my opinion on that? Yeah.
I prefer to use cash because it's a depreciating asset anyway. I prefer not to use my asset that's appreciating. I prefer to use my depreciating asset to purchase an appreciating asset, if that makes sense.
Come on.
Absolutely. That was gonna be my same exact answer. Listen, y'all can look at these Bitcoin dips if you want, but I'm not doing it unless I have to. I hate when I have to pay for stuff in Bitcoin. I hate it because I'm like, no, I want my Bitcoin to keep growing. And as soon as I have to pay, I got to put it back in there because listen, I need my Bitcoin to grow. Okay. But that's the great thing, and that's a great question, Shamika, because I think a lot of people don't know or understand that. They're like, okay, well, how do we actually purchase the NFTs? Guys, some of them you do have to use digital currency, so that's why everybody should own it. But even if you don't, guys, it's so easy to buy Bitcoin. You can buy a Bitcoin on your phone with Cash App, okay? But if you don't have any digital currency, a lot of the sites right now, especially because it's so new, a lot of people will still accept your credit card or your debit card. So use that depreciating US dollar to buy something that's going to appreciate for you in the future. Yes. 100%. Okay, so we gotta go, ladies. But oh my gosh, I'm so glad that we decided to share this conversation with like all our folks on Facebook. Listen, let's do this again next week. And what I want to talk about next week are games that people are playing that are making them money. Can we do that, ladies?
I'm there. You let me know. Look,
so I'm excited. So let me just tell y'all. Next week, get all your gamers on here. All the teenagers who in the basement, all the grown folks who feeling depressed and they want to escape. Like, think about it. What if you got paid to play The Sims? Because you know The Sims is like this digital world. But it's when you went to work on The Sims and you built that bank up, what if that was real money?
Right.
I'm just saying, there are some people who are addicted to playing video games. What if that could make you money? Money that makes money. I'm just saying, I mean, let's pique your interest, but get your video game and playing friends on here, brothers, sisters. You got some uncles and aunts, some cousins that playing video games. Yeah. Something you might want to hear.
Yep. Let's do it. We're gonna do it next week, guys. We'll make a flyer or something and we'll put it on Facebook. Let you guys be able to